My name is Patrick Lawson. I'm a case manager with Assisted Living Finders, and today we're going to be talking about a little known benefit that the VA offers to veterans called aid in attendance and housebound benefits. This is a cash benefit that is paid monthly, and it's tax-free. We're going to do a little walkthrough on my screen. We're going to talk about basic eligibility, the amount of the benefit, and how to apply.
On the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs website and their pension section. Aid in attendance and housebound benefits are an extension of the basic pension. So, from the VA's own words, the veterans and survivors who are eligible for a VA pension and require the aid and attendance of another person or are housebound may be eligible for this additional monthly payment. Then gets into details under qualifying conditions for aid and attendance and housebound. Lists some examples. So one of those would be you require the aid and attendance of another person in order to perform personal functions required in everyday living. These are generally referred to as activities of daily living, and they list some examples here, like bathing, feeding, dressing, attending to wants of nature, which is another way of saying toileting, adjusting prosthetic devices, or protecting yourself from the hazards of your daily environment. Protecting yourself from the hazards of daily environment. This would generally be applicable to those who have dementia, Alzheimer's, and can't necessarily respond to an emergency. Additionally, they're listing if you are bedridden and that your disability or disabilities require that you remain in bed apart from any prescribed course or convalescence or treatment. You're a patient in a nursing home or due to mental or physical incapacity. Note here, nursing home is an often misunderstood term. Excuse me. Nursing home could be a skilled nursing facility, somewhere where you go after a hospital stay to receive skilled nursing needs. It could also be a long-term care facility or an assisted living environment. So nursing home as a term is interchangeable with a lot of different care environments. The last section here, as an example, they listed if your eyesight's limited to a corrected 5 to 100 visual acuity, basically if you're legally blind. In regards to the housebound benefits, this could be added to the basic monthly pension amount when you are substantially confined to your immediate premises because of a permanent disability. So right there we have our basic eligibility requirements as far as the medical component goes. Next, we're going to jump into eligible wartime periods and service requirements. Okay, so basic service requirements are that you had at least 90 days active duty, with one of those days being during a period of active wartime. The VA lists those wartime periods on their website. You'll see that here. We're on that page. Now, many people confuse service during wartime with combat duty. Veterans are not required to have been in combat, simply to have had 1 day active duty during a period of wartime. That should be made clear. So you could have served stateside during any one of these conflicts and meet your eligibility requirement. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the rates. Okay, so the VA pays this benefit monthly. However, when we're talking about rates of payment, those are annual. The rates here listed are the maximum annual pension rate, and we can get into examples later how the actual pension rate is calculated. But right now we're just looking at the maximum amounts. So you'll see here aid in attendance without dependents. The maximum annual rate is $21,962 as of 2018. With one dependent, that goes up to $26,036. Housebound with just the veteran is $16,089 a year. Housebound with one dependent is $20,166 per year. And there's additions for each dependent. Okay, so we're just going to go through a basic example here of a single veteran with no spouse or dependents. We're going to go ahead and call him Richard. Richard is eligible based off the service requirements and has a medical need for the aid and attendance. So we're just going to go through the calculations of how the VA would calculate the amount that they're going to award Richard. Just as a note, the VA always uses annual figures, not monthly, as many of us do. So Richard in our scenario has dementia and needs help paying for care. His yearly income is about $50,000 or $4,100 a month. So Richard's been doing pretty good. That's some private retirement in addition to Social Security, most likely. He's got about $40,000 in savings. So Richard's children are looking for memory care options. They're doing their due diligence, calling around, touring facilities, getting prices, and they're finding that in his area, everything's about $5,000 or more per month. One of the kids have done some calculations, and they're finding that at that kind of rate, not only is all of his income going to the cost of his care, but he's also going to pretty quickly deplete those savings. Now, if Richard moves into this memory care facility and he applies for and receives the aid and attendance, this is how the VA is going to calculate it. They're going to take the basic pension rate, multiply it times 0.05. That is 659. So what that 659 figure is the baseline for medical expenses in a year to begin deducting unreimbursed medical expenses. So long and the short of it is you would need $660 in annual medical expenses that are unreimbursed before you'd get $1 of medical deductions. So in this case, Richard's got a lot of medical expenses. It's $60,000 a year. We then deduct that $659. So we now have a medical deduction of $59,341. Now Richard's income is $50,000. He's got a medical deduction of $59,000. So he's going to have a negative figure here. VA doesn't use negative figures. Any negative figures is going to click over to a 0 for his countable income. At this point, we subtract the countable income from the maximum aid and attendance rate to determine what his benefit amount is. So the maximum benefit amount is going to be $21,962. We subtract his countable income, which is 0. So Richard will be able to get the max benefit of $21,962 a year. That'd work out to $1,830 a month. Now between that $1,830 a month and his existing income, he's going to have $5,996 a month in income. That will completely cover his cost of care of $5,000 a month and leave an extra $996 a month. So we went from a scenario where Richard was using all of his income and depleting his savings quickly for the cost of his care to where this benefit has come in, and now he's not dipping into his savings, and he has an extra $996 a month for anything else he might need to use that for.
Alright, thank you for watching our video. In applying for these benefits, it's very important to stress that the VA is very concerned about what's called pension poaching. There are some organizations out there and individuals that are taking advantage of veterans, charging fees to apply for these benefits, which is a crime, or sometimes just stealing the funds once the veteran is funded. So it's very important to apply directly with the VA through our local benefits office, or using an accredited claims agent or attorney. These individuals have been accredited by the VA to process these claims, or there's veteran service organizations. Go ahead and contact us at the number listed below, and we can put you in contact with these organizations. We can assist you with application for VA's aid and attendance. Please also like, share, forward this video. It's very important we get information out about this program. There's a large number of veterans that's growing every day that could benefit from these funds. and are not aware of this program. So we want to get the word out there. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and have a blessed day.